In this segment, we're going to go ahead and talk about how you can profit from being a consultant selling our V-Texting product. So let's talk a little bit about what you have to do every day to go out in the field and actually market this product to a business owner, a nonprofit organization like a school or church, or to a company, or to maybe some type of athletic sports team or club or membership organization. First of all, you want to go ahead and sort of pick your market. What I would recommend is that maybe you have a background that falls into one of these areas. Maybe you had kids that are in sports teams and you're pretty familiar with that world, with how athletic teams operate and how parents interact with the coaches and teams. And you can think of ways that that would personally benefit somebody because you have experience there. So maybe you pick the sports team. Maybe you're very involved in the parent-teacher association or church that you belong to. Well, then maybe the nonprofit organization world might be good. Maybe the retail side. Maybe you've got business-to-business experience. Maybe you've owned a business in the past. Maybe you have lots of friends that are business owners you can go to. Maybe the retail side is good. Maybe you own a company or company owners that have big companies and would like to maybe incorporate this into an employee communication tool into their companies. Maybe you have a little bit of all the above here. Whatever market seems to fit you best as far as your background, your experience, that's where I recommend you start because you want to be comfortable talking to that particular leader of that company, organization, what have you. And you want to be able to be relatable. You want to be able to relate from your own experience how you feel this product can really help them. Let's look at the retail market. The retail market includes many, many different types of businesses. There are millions upon millions of business owners out there in the retail market that could benefit from V-Texting. Some of the biggest ones, though, that will definitely have an interest, who spend a lot of money to promote and advertise every single day, are restaurants, car dealerships, nightclubs, bars. In tourist areas, you have outfitters, you have hotels, you have the actual attractions, movie theaters, and of course, clothing retail stores and other types of service-related businesses are all going to be interested in taking a look at V-Texting. So this is a very good market to start with, but it's not the only market. But if you are going to go on the retail side, here's some things that you'll want to know. Let's go ahead and look at various points here on how to sell to the retail market. Now, this isn't an all-inclusive list, but these are just some of the points that you need to understand when you go into a retailer. Most retailers already are allocating a large portion of their budget for advertising. They realize that if they don't advertise that they won't be in business. So many businesses have a considerable portion of their budget set aside for yellow page advertising, newspaper advertising, direct mail circulars. It could be online advertising, maybe radio, some television, perhaps cable advertising, billboards, any other form of advertising that they can do. They already have a budget for it. So my approach to go to that retailer would be to review first what they're spending money on and see what areas that you could possibly reallocate dollars. So you're not asking necessarily the business owner to create an additional budget for the V-Texting product, but you're simply saying, here are some more out-of-date methods of how you're promoting your business. You may want to consider reallocating money you're spending here and here over to our V-Texting product, because V-Texting is going to communicate directly to people's cell phones. It's going to put you more in touch with your customers. It can drive instant traffic into your door faster than any other mechanism, and it's certainly less expensive than radio or some of the other mediums used for that. So look at a way to reallocate based upon what they're doing. Take an inventory, ask questions. How are you currently spending your dollars on advertising? What types of things are you doing? And see if you can find a few areas that you can go ahead and pull those dollars into a V-Texting program. Now, help that business owner understand that V-Texting is a tool that will give them that right, that permission to communicate to their cell phone, their customers' cell phones every day. And that's very powerful, that they understand that customers always have cell phones with them. I mean, with their keys, their purse, their wallet, they've got their cell phones when they leave their house, and they're typically nearby all the time. So people are definitely going to be responding to any type of promotion or advertisements that that they're getting on their phones. It's been proven that Messages, text messages do get responded to, do get read, you know, in less than 1 hour, whereas voicemails, emails, definitely direct mail takes much longer for people to get a response. So this is a tool that they definitely need to have in their arsenal, especially when they want to smooth out the ups and the downs in their day. When they have a retail store, they've got high traffic times of the day, they have slow traffic times of the day or week, and what they want to do is that business owner wants to see a level, uh, steady business coming through all the time and not have highs and lows. So to level that out, they can use vTexting. They can do promotions during those off times and try to bring in more customers and try to balance out their day. So those are some of the talking points about how to sell to a retailer a vTexting product. Now, if you were going to go sell to a company with employees, the idea of using vTexting as a communication system or tool, some of the talking points here is about increasing productivity. That's the key with companies, is that companies oftentimes are set up and structured in a way where they're very inefficient, and maybe there's a lot of overlap or a lot of wasted time for employees to get specific information from the top. And an example would be in the construction trade. Because of the variation of job sites that they deal with on perhaps a day-to-day basis, one example would be a construction company using vTexting to communicate to their workers' cell phones each day where they're supposed to report to work and at what time, and if something, because of weather conditions or whatnot, if they're supposed to come in late or perhaps take the day off. So this is all important information that can be communicated to a staff of workers by the leader, by the foreman, by the boss. And that's one example. Of course, there's many other ways that companies can incorporate vTexting, such as important news, updates, bulletins, any other type of information that employees need to have, and they need to have it now. Companies can use vTexting for. So this is probably one of the harder areas to get vTexting into to create the need, but there definitely are ways to get this into companies and to use it as a communication tool. Nonprofit organizations. If you're going to sell to nonprofits, we're talking about schools, churches, other charitable or membership-driven organizations. Again, the key word here is to communicate more effectively and save time. Okay, because we're talking about volunteer situations with some of the nonprofits, such as churches or charities. Oftentimes they're volunteer based, and people's time is valuable, and this is a way that people can be communicated with effectively, and it can save time. Also, that organization can use vTexting to help mobilize volunteers for special projects or events, like maybe they're going to walk a parade, maybe they're going to do a fundraiser, maybe they're going to go do some special cleanup event to get some exposure for their organization, whatever it is that they have to round up volunteers and they have to get them organized. It could take a lot of time to phone 50, 100, 200 people, or in some cases it's thousands of people, but a text message out could easily communicate, when the event is, what time they need to be there, what they need to bring, how long they would expect to last, and who they should contact if they have a question. All that information could be broadcast on a text message. So again, it can mobilize groups of people very quickly, and it can save a lot of time and a lot of headaches for what might be a volunteer staff. Schools can use our product to communicate to teachers, staff, and parents regarding school closings, any emergencies, if there was any type of incident or situation at the school that needed to be broadcast out, any event schedules, could be, homecoming events or proms or other big events that go on in the school. Anything that parents need to know about, they can communicate to their cell phones once again, versus sending out something in the mail, which mailings can be expensive and often slow, and sometimes they get lost. So that is a way that a school could really benefit. Teachers and staff, they have a lot of meetings in the school system, and this is reminders, changes of meetings, change of location where meetings are happening, And so, you got a big school district with several hundred teachers. That's very powerful for that principal or that superintendent to broadcast one message and say, hey, our teacher staff meeting has been moved and changed at this time, and they don't have to contact everybody. They don't have to try to put a notice in their mailbox or send out an email and hope that they get it in time. That cell phone will go off instantly with that text message, and they can get it within just a few seconds. So again, communication can be very efficient. It can make sure that the meeting gets done today and it doesn't get delayed, until tomorrow or the next day. And productivity is always related to how well things get communicated. Churches can promote their various ministries to the public, events that they have taking place, their service times, and so forth. And again, mobilizing volunteers for managing, kids' churches or youth groups, um, being a part of any other activities that they have going on. So they can communicate directly to their members. They can communicate also to the public by publishing keywords regarding service times in their churches and so forth. And they can build a brand for their church and their ministry. So these are all ways that VTexting can help a nonprofit type organization. Here are some bullet points for sport teams and clubs. If you've had kids in soccer or baseball or football or in basketball or any sport, you know that oftentimes practices can change on a moment's notice. Sometimes the weather affects practices. Sometimes, the use of the facility, maybe it was a scheduling problem, and sometimes it just has to be delayed, or maybe it's canceled altogether. There are oftentimes that there's some confusion created by last-minute changes. Well, a mobile messaging service like VTexting can help clear the confusion, and parents can be made aware of these things right away, and it can affect their day. Instead of missing an hour or two of work that wasn't necessary because of these changes, they can plan for it and be ready for it. Also, sports teams could use VTexting to broadcast out scores or updates on games and tournaments. If they have a fan base and those fans want to follow what's going on, they can get direct from the field updates at the end of the game from the coaches or players, and they can be receiving those real-time sort of updates. Also, they can be used to promote the teams, to sell more tickets and games, special promotions. If you've got an organization that's trying to raise money and you're going to have a special fundraising night, you can put out to all your supporters that are a part of this group, come to Friday night's game. We're going to have a special spaghetti dinner fundraiser for our team. Be sure to come and bring all your family and enjoy dinner to help support the football team. And those types of things can be promoted through VTexting. We also have the mobilization factor again. A lot of sports clubs are supported by the actual players and families, and maybe extended family, grandparents, and so forth. So oftentimes there is fundraising involved, and anytime fundraising involved, you get volunteers. And if you're going to be doing big events, it's usually going to take quite a bit of effort of a lot of people, a lot of coordination. VTexting can help simplify the communication of letting people know when their shifts are, when they start, when they should be there, what to bring, what to wear. All those kind of things can be answered again with a VTexting message. And also for the fans of your sports teams, you can promote a keyword to get the game schedules and times of when you're going to be playing your next event. So those are some of the bullet points on how you can market this to a sports team or club. Now, as far as the approach, how do I actually, show the VTexting service, and how do I ask someone to get started? What I recommend is that you would actually make an appointment, or if you do a walk-in, ask for 15 minutes to do a brief demonstration on how that business, that organization, that school, that club can use mobile marketing to either save time or make money, and save money at the same time. And if they agree and give you the opportunity, go ahead and help them set up a free access account. They'll want to take advantage of that, and then go ahead and offer them a VCredit certificate so that they can get a free trial. And this is an easy way, a no-risk way of getting them started to see it. I mean, the key is here is you want them to experience the product while you're in that location. You want to be able to take them through the process, show them quickly how easy it is to set up this account, how they can go in and put in a message based on a keyword, offer that keyword to a potential subscriber, and then to be able to see the result come quickly right on the phone while you're there on location. So as you're there, you have your laptop with you, or you go to their computer at that location, set up the Access account, give them a certificate so that they can get some V credits so they can purchase the trial account for VTexting. Go ahead and set up one keyword for their organization, put a brief auto reply message in that they would want to have, and then go ahead and have them subscribe in to their cell phone and watch the results happen right there with a live demonstration. And once they see how easy it is and how fast it works, go ahead and assume that they would want it and show them the different packages we offer and ask them which package would make sense for them to get started with. And remind them, there's no long-term commitments here. It's month to month. There's no setup fees. There's no contracts. They can simply try the product for, ask them to try it for 90 days, for 3 months, and then make a full evaluation at that point, how well it's working for their organization. And of course, they're going to fall in love with the product because they're going to see how easy it is to use and how much a benefit it brings to their organization. They're going to want to keep it month after month after month, which means that you're going to be able to make some nice residual income. And we'll talk about that here in a second. So some of the highlights to close your customer. This product is very versatile for both sales and for instant communication for subscriber groups. So either stress the communication and the efficiency and how it saves time, or stress the ability to generate rapid sales, or both, depending upon the customer. VTexting, again, no long-term commitments, no contracts, no setup fees, simple to set up and use. We offer the test drive package for those who are not 100% sure they want to buy it until they try it first. And compared to other forms of expensive advertising and less efficient ways to communicate, VTexting is a bargain. No doubt about it. There are so many wasteful ways to spend money to advertise and promote nowadays that don't really get the traffic in. And there are lots of things that companies do that are inefficient to communicate. We can help streamline those things. We can save organizations and businesses money, and we can help them generate more revenue as well if they're for profit. And of course, what that means to you is, folks, that you get paid. Remember, every account you sell, you make a 50% commission on the monthly subscription. So you are building a residual income. For example, if you sell 10 VTexting accounts a month at the $99 level, which is just one of our packages, your commission would be $49.50 per month per customer times 10 accounts you set up. That's $495 a month in residual income. Okay, that you're generating. So that's $6,000 a month at the end of 12 months. Okay, so you do that for 12 months, you're going to build up a residual of $6,000 a month. That's $72,000 a year in income by putting a year's worth of effort part-time marketing VTexting to businesses out there. So, folks, I can tell you the key is just to get started, to go ahead and start talking to people. The time in the market is perfect. VTexting is the door opener. It will definitely be something that business owners and leaders of organizations will be interested in hearing more about. So I challenge you to go out and start sharing VTexting in the marketplace today, and go ahead and start building your monthly residual income. And this will wrap up our training here on VTexting. Thank you so much for watching this video, and we wish you good selling with VTexting.